starting to record now, that would be lovely. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Hannah Yohalem. I am the Assistant Director for the Faculty Research Development Office. And this is the second in our series this semester of the Research Success Series, which we put on in collaboration with Advance at UNM. We've been thinking about diversifying funding over the summer and have recordings of many of those sessions online, and Sandy's going to drop the website, thank you, in the chat. And this semester, we've been thinking about this series in terms of leveraging what you have. So acknowledging that things are changing and it might be harder to get funding from outside. So thinking about what resources already exist, what relationships you can build now, maybe using some less funding, so that hopefully when things become a little freer, you can jump in. And we also have representation from UNM Foundation and from our Office of Research Translation, Innovation, and Partnerships, who can also talk about maybe other sources of funding. Today is, again, about cultivating connections, and we wanted this panel to be a big tent. I think often, like, outreach to industry or outreach to other universities is kept separate from community engaged work. And we are trying to think about all of this work as about connection and about building relationships, and that even working within the university, right, involves a lot of relationship building. And so wanted to invite people who might not normally be in the room together to be in the room together and to talk about this. Our next session, which is in October, and again, you can register for that in the link that Sandy put in the chat, is about our Category 3 research centers on campus. So again, thinking about what already exists here that you might not know about and can tap into. So with that, I would like to hand it off. So the plan is that each of our panelists are going to give a brief introduction to their office and the work they do, or themselves. We do have a PI presenting as well. And then we will open it up to Q&A. And I have some pre-planned questions for the panel, but if any of you in the audience have specific questions, please feel free to come off mute and ask them yourself or put them in the chat. So with that, would any of our speakers like to start, or would you like me to?
I can go first if no one else wants to.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angel.
Of course. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Angel Lancaster, and I'm with the UNM Foundation. I work with Jim O'Brien, and I'm going to chat really quickly about crowdfunding and Impact UNM at the foundation. I have a slide deck we'll run through, but please feel free to stop me if you have questions or if I'm talking too fast. So, I want to introduce everyone to crowdfunding. Our official crowdfunding platform is Impact UNM, and this is hosted through the foundation. So on the national level for crowdfunding, you can think of crowdfunding at the foundation very similarly to how you would see GoFundMe campaigns. Maybe if you're familiar with Indiegogo. It's a little bit like Kickstarter, except we're not really selling a product. We're selling an idea, maybe. So the national average for a crowdfunding project on that average gift is around $88. For us, we see that a little bit higher. We're ending around $96, almost all the way to $100. And crowdfunding continues to be a very popular avenue for giving throughout the country. There are some best practices connected to crowdfunding projects. So typically our projects will be front loaded. So think like maybe somewhere between 30 to 50% of your goal. You already have that in your account, I guess, before we launch the project. Projects are story focused. They include many different avenues of communication, including video and then photos and, visual representation of your work. Our projects are successful projects, offer multiple entry points. So we're very clear with what what $50 can mean for your project, what $100 can mean, all the way up to what $500 can mean for your project. And then it's always important to be very detailed and specific in your ask connected to crowdfunding. So, the purpose of Impact UNM is to serve as the university's only crowdfunding project or platform, excuse me. This platform will give everyone access to your project in digital avenues. It is for any unit, club, department, organization with a UNM fundraising account. Um, our projects are connected to a variety of efforts at the campus. Anything from travel funds for conferences to research projects, events, urgent need, annual campaigns, generally anything that needs fundraising support, we can work with that in a project. Um, Important to know that great projects are scattered across a wide variety of items, but they typically have a few major key points of success in common. So they're time sensitive or they're urgent. They're emotional or there's a community focused to the project. They are easy to promote and created in language that is universal, so that average person will, connect with that. And there's a well-defined group of supporters, whether this is an alumni base, a personal network, or faculty and staff community, something along those lines. Really strong examples of projects have tangible things connected to them, like the White Coat Project in the School of Medicine, or they show an immediate important need, like the Lobo Food Pantry, or the Bells with the Alumni Association. Bad examples of projects are really big construction projects or capital projects. Um, Things that have really large dollar goals, like we're talking maybe goals over 100,000, or projects that stretch out over multiple years. The longer the timeline are, the more difficult it is for us to create a communication plan and have a solid project for you. To get started with a project, you can visit us at impactunm.unmfund.org. And there's an application button where you can submit your contact information, your project goal, and project information. And then someone from my team will reach out to you generally within 3 to 5 business days. To get your project started, we need a fundraising account at the university. We need your campaign timeline, images, video, page copy, whatever we can use to tell your story, and then a campaign or a promotion plan. We are very excited to help you with projects, and so we would love to partner with you on your communication plan, your images, your content, your copy, anything that you might need to get started. We are more than happy to partner with you on that. Should you have questions, feel free to pop me an email. It's my first name dot last name at unmfund.org. So thanks, Hannah.
I can go next.
Great. Thank you, Brittany. And thank you, Angel.
Hey, everybody. My name is Brittany Vandwerf. I work with New Mexico EPSCoR. It's an acronym that doesn't necessarily matter or is important. What you do need to know about us is that we're a mechanism through which the National Science Foundation funnels money to New Mexico. There's certain states in the states that don't get as much funding as others, and we're one of them. So this is a method for them to channel money to us. What that means for you is that you qualify for funding opportunities that some others don't in the nation. You also get preference and consideration when they're looking at applications. When you submit an application to NSF, we are not the only ones. I represent NSF New Mexico EPSCoR. There's some other flavors of this program in the state. They're called INBRI, and NASA has one too. But I represent NSF, and we also kind of take DOD and DOE proposals under our wing. So our main goal is to build research capacity in New Mexico, and we're here to help you succeed. So we have trainings and awards. A lot of them help you progress along in your career development. But we're a mighty office of 5 people, and we represent all institutions in the state. We're out of New Mexico, but we represent all institutions. And we just love to meet you and hang out. And that's all I got.
Awesome, thank you. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. I don't, it does, either way.
Nathan, why don't you go? Or Tim, go. No, Tim, you're sharing your screen. Go for it. Thank you.
Sounds good. Give me a second here. Yeah, I'm Tim Castillo. I'm the Director of Community Engagement. The Office of Community Engagement is a relatively new organization here at UNM. Community engagement has had a long legacy. And so we're really trying to institutionalize community engagement. So I'm going to share a video real quick. This is something that we've been trying to do, is really promote the work that community engagement scholars tend to do. And so my office has been really focused on promoting this work, and I'll talk a little bit more about kind of where we're headed. So if you give me a second. So that's just a snapshot of some of the work that we're doing. You might have noticed the faculty spotlights. Jose Sarato is one of our recent spotlights, but we're also very interested in starting to cultivate more opportunities for our students, for our graduate students and our undergraduate students. Today, what I wanted to talk about is what we're doing for our faculty. One of the things that we really realized, we put a report together for the Carnegie Foundation this year, and we really realized that we need some work in better equipping our faculty and our staff around community engagement. So I received some funding from the Provost Office to develop what we're calling the Community Engagement Academy. And that's really intended to look at best practices across community engagement. So people like Nina Wallerstein and Michael Pride. We have a whole host of great scholars that have had legacy in this space. So we intend to have 2 or 3 workshops this next year to really focus on topics like how do you start community engagement? What are some of the things that you should be aware of? Looking at funding opportunities, and so my board is really working to define those workshops that we'll be providing this year. So go to our website, and we'll be promoting that very soon. The other thing that we've really wanted to start to do is develop an ecosystem for understanding our impact in our communities, but also understanding where that work is coming from. So we have created a database that begins to articulate the counties that we serve and collaborate in, but also the departments and schools and colleges that our faculty are coming from. And really, this is intended to really help develop interdisciplinary proposals around funding opportunities, and really be able to give our faculty the opportunity to see who's doing what. So again, we're platforming this, and we'll have it on our website very soon. The other thing that we've been really dedicated on, and I've been working with Intern Provost Rodriguez, is our institutional tenure and promotion. As you know, or maybe you don't know, it's a really it's a difficult place in terms of community engagement, just because of the work that and how it's articulated. So we've been really trying to work with the provost office to develop new ways of understanding the impact of that work, and really how to merit it. So we are soliciting a proposal that we drafted, my board drafted this last year. And so really looking at how that will be implemented in the future. So I've been speaking to all the deans and getting feedback from them. So hopefully in the next year, we'll have new guidelines for tenure and promotion around community engagement. And then lastly, the thing I want to talk about is we're developing or we're going to incorporate a new platform called GivePulse. And the idea of this platform is to help us better understand our impact, give some tools to our scholars that are doing this work, and being able to give them agency in the community to be able to track this work, to be able to bring new tools into that space. So we're looking to get this on board in the new year. So as soon as we get that on board, we'll be doing some training and offering that to our faculty. So keep an eye out for that. So Again, we're the Office of Community Engagement. I'm Tim Castillo. My program coordinator is Carol Ibarra-Zetter. She's also on the call. So again, thank you for the opportunity to talk about community engagement.
Thank you, Tim. Nathan.
Hi, my name's Nathan. I'm an educator with Explora as well as a curriculum developer. For anybody who doesn't know, Explora is a children's museum and science center. Our view right now is we are trying to go from cradle to career. So we're trying to reach students from, itty bitty guys all the way to interns who are applying to colleges, or students who are applying to colleges. We can help mostly with outreach type of things. We've worked with a couple of different researchers at UNM already. We've worked with the Center for High Technology Materials and developed a week-long camp around nanotechnology. We were able to get some speakers to come to Explora as well as bring some of the campers over to the center. I've also worked with Dr. Salinas's lab to create an outreach centered around lungfish. So we took that out to a couple of different middle schools here in Albuquerque and taught them all about lungfish and their unique properties. But we have a lot of different ways that we can engage with the community. So we can help you develop lessons that you can post on your own sites or spread. We can also just help you with creating materials. Or if you would like to come with us and go to outreaches, we can develop we can go to do tabling event type things. We go into schools and libraries across the state. Yeah, mostly our job is to try to take some of your ideas and translate them into ways that students and other people in the community can engage with them.
Thanks, Nathan. And yeah, for especially like NSF proposals that require broader impacts, Explora is wonderful. They have so much that you can just tap right into. Dave, are you ready?
Sure thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm Dave Hansen, right? Associate Vice President for Research. And our office that we're talking about here, I'll just also add it in the chat, is the link for our ORTIP, Office of Research, Innovation and Partnerships, Research Translation, Innovation and Partnerships. So really the goal here is trying to really connect the research we do on campus with those in our region. That can be, there's a very broad aspects of that, collaborations with, other institutions in the state, working, helping to build teams that are going to work on regional proposals when we need a team to go for a larger effort. Working a lot with the national labs are included in that. So like we're going to be having events on specifically having what Sandia National Labs and Los Alamos National Labs, what they do in certain areas that people can attend to understand better how to find engagements with them. We work also a lot with state agencies, with the Environment Department and the Economic Development Department have been having a lot of interesting ways of interactions, and we just try to first keep learning what they want and trying to find out who wants to do stuff. So it's always good to reach out if you think that there are state agencies that want to, that you think should want to interact with you. I'm happy to want to hear that so we can understand. We have to do a better job of knowing what we want to do and where we can have be a resource. And we've even been engaging a lot in all these processes with a lot of the other sovereign nations we have in our state. 23 of them, right? So, and making progress that way. And then specifically, though, we do have Jem O'Brien on our team, who's here, really to focus on helping people get research funding from foundations and coming up with opportunities. So if you ever get emails from Jem about opportunities, respond, if you're interested, but also reach out to them. You have, and then we have Onlo Schmidt Olivier can't remember if she's on here today, but she's focused also more on the industry partnership kind of thing. If you have industry partners that you want to work with, and so on the website there we actually have a link that you can do to request a connection. People can use that from the outside to connect inside, and so we then go to try to find who all you are, or the internal people, or internal people want to find each other, or internal people want to find outside people. So we at least are having a spot where you can kind of put what you're looking in there. You can, of course, contact us directly also. And just really trying to build those connections. It's been exciting. There's lots of good things we've learned in the last couple of years about how to make connections and find out what people are doing, because mostly there's a lot of other people that are doing stuff, a lot of funding sources for activities, and not enough people trying to connect them. That's what we try to do.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I think Dave's point about reach out in general, I think this whole panel, this whole discussion is like, we want you to not have to reinvent the wheel. This is not about gatekeeping. This is about connecting you to relationships and partnerships and resources that already exist. And if you're ever not sure which office is the right office for something, please feel free to reach out to the Faculty Research Development Office, and then we can connect you to the right folks within UNM, who then can help connect you to the right folks outside UNM. Jose.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank, of course, the Faculty Research Development Office and the Office of the Vice President for Research for organizing this and for including me. I want to keep it brief and just share my experience as a faculty member. So I am a professor in the Gerald May Department of Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering. I am an environmental engineer by training, but also have now some other affiliations talking about how to build communities, right? So I have now, a secondary appointment with the College of Pharmacy because I am also a director of the UNM Metal Superfund Research Center, which, believe it or not, has a lot to do with New Mexico EPSCoR, because New Mexico EPSCoR was a mentor, I'm going to say, when I was a very young junior faculty. And give me 1 second. And I also was able to benefit from a lot of the leverage that I received early on in my career. And thankfully now I also am affiliated with the Harriet Institute because I am the director of the UNM Changes Center, which is working on issues related to climate, health, and communities. And thankfully have had the benefit to collaborate with Tim Castillo as well, who just presented earlier. I've been a partner of Explora for many years too. So I find myself in the middle of all of these different parties, I'm going to say, and want to share my perspective as to how we can build this community. So I really appreciate this conversation and hope we can continue discussing.
Thank you. Yeah, Jose is a gold star example of the good things that can happen when you do brilliant work yourself, but also tap into the networks and resources on campus. So we're gonna transition into the Q&A section now. Thank you all for those great introductions and for staying so on time, which is incredible.